This morning's guest is going to let the cat out of the bag about the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People. Morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Real Estate Career Institute on the corner of 17 Bypass and Wachesaw Road in Murrells Inlet. We're focused on the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach and its upcoming Ducks Across the Water, or Paws Across the Water. It's a big event, and we're visiting with its executive director, Michelle Lopinto. Good morning.
Hi, Greg.
Michelle, thank you so much for coming in. If you remember last time we were together, we were the Myrtle Beach Herald there at the Fox 43 studios.
Yes, we were.
Former Myrtle Beach Air Force Base. We asked you to drive a little further this morning to get down to Murrells.
I know. I don't get down this end too much. I can't believe how much it's built up.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, both good and bad. Yeah,
there you
go.
That's
right. It can get kind of crazy at times, but it's a beautiful area. What about this Real Estate Career Institute and the GMAC franchise they have down here?
I think it's wonderful.
It's fantastic.
I think it's great.
How about a lot going on? September 8th coming up fast. This is y'all's third annual, is it?
Yes.
Now, of course, you've got the Ask Me Adopt a Derby duck there.
Right. I'm all decorated
Humane Society shirt that says a warm heart for a loving home for viewers who can't zoom in on that. And, of course, this is the third annual.
Yes, it's pretty important. Of course, every year gets better.
Right.
We learn as we're going. And we're really expecting to have a really sellout crowd this year.
Are you really?
Yes.
Is it the same location as the first 2 years?
Yes, Greg, it is. It's at Barefoot Landing, right there on the waterway. I believe the ducks will be dropped right behind Greg Norman's.
Right.
That kind of gives everybody an idea of where they're going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And they will actually be in a cement mixer, and as it's turning, then all 10,000 ducks will go into the waterway and start the race.
There's no real preferential treatment there. That's a great way to,
Right, it's very interesting. And I've had people say, well, what happens to those ducks that are still rolling around in there? They don't have as good of a chance. But they do, because once these ducks hit the water, the water takes over. I mean, the tide is going to float them however. So yes, it becomes very fair.
We want to get into the actual mechanics of that and what exactly is going on here for viewers who may have missed you a couple years ago when you were with us. But if someone needs to get out of the house now, get off to work or otherwise, is there a good website to visit or a phone number for a viewer who may be interested in coming by to see the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach?
Yes, they can call us at the Humane Society, of course, at 249-4948. Call anytime. Leave
a message even if you all aren't there.
Exactly.
Sure.
We'll get back to you and answer any of your questions. And we also have a website, which is humanesocietynmb.org. And it's a great website, and you can actually order your ducks online there.
Oh, great. Okay.
Probably people are asking, what do you mean order your ducks?
Your ducks, that's right.
Right. Actually, Greg, I brought this. I don't know.
Right.
This is the actual duck that will float down the waterway. It will have a number on the bottom.
And that number will not rub off. And
10,000 of them will not. No. Will go down the waterway, and this is what they look like, because some people think these are actual real ducks.
Yeah, let me hold that up, and this is just so that folks can zoom in on. I don't know if that's right. We'll have to zoom in later on, but this is a gorgeous. I shouldn't say gorgeous. This is a great thing to have, and y'all have used these same ducks all 3 years. All 3 years, and they're very easy to handle.
These are the actual sizes, and one duck costs $5.
Right.
And we put your number on, and there you go. If you'd like to purchase more ducks, I believe it's, now I'm going to
that's right, 5 for $25.
Quack pack, right?
You could even get 12 and get a nice discount, the flock of ducks.
Flock, right. Or you can get that big duck. Okay.
Oh, a big duck is $100 ducks for $400. Wow.
Right.
How many ducks are y'all going to end up selling in toto? Do you know? Is there a limit? I mean, just for folks who are bettors?
We can only go to 10,000.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
And if we do not sell all 10,000, they will still be dropped in the waterway.
Yeah.
We are contracted, we have to drop all 10,000. So what that means is there may be ducks going across that finish line with no numbers on it. So you still have a chance. If if your duck doesn't go over first, 5 of them might go over if we haven't sold them without numbers, and you could still win. And we've got some great prizes.
Yeah, what are some of the prizes? I see someone could be worth $1 million. What does that mean? Yeah.
About that? Well, that's kind of confusing too, because people are like, well, why are you trying to raise money for the Humane Society if you have $1 million to give away?
Right. Okay.
We have no $1 million to give away.
That's why you're here.
Right, exactly. We contracted to a company, and what they do, we will send them all of the numbers of the ducks that we have sold.
Right.
They will pick one. It's guarded secret. We don't even know. They will pick a number. It will come to us on race day. If that number duck goes across the finish line first, they will pay that person the $1 million.
Wow. Okay.
So I mean, there's some odds against you there, but
I was about to say, can I buy all the ducks and have a winning shot there? Yeah.
But it's probably no different than playing the lottery. You know, it's a little incentive to get them out there and maybe purchase more than one duck. But we don't even know the number. It comes in a sealed envelope, and until that race is over with, nobody can open that envelope.
And if it's first across the finish line, wow, well that is a good incentive.
They would get the $1 million from this company, and then they get the grand prize from us, which is the Elko Spa. Okay, that's a hot tub, and they gave away that prize, I believe, the first year we did this too. Elko's, wonderful people, and it's a beautiful, beautiful hot tub.
And that's got a big retail value.
You better believe it.
Costs a lot of money as well.
Yeah. So there's 2 locations that they're at, one in North Myrtle and one down here at the south end. I believe they're down in
close to the back gate, or it's
exactly.
Great location there.
So that's the grand prize, and then we have weekend getaways. We have a sports lover package for $1,000.
Yes.
We're trying to get Panther tickets also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Still working up to this last minute.
Keep your fingers crossed.
We're talking about 3 weeks away almost, 2.5 weeks from here on Wednesday the 22nd. So.
Yeah, we're still working hard. Absolutely. And it's exciting, Greg. It really is. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Right. Oh, I know. Y'all are essentially working on this year-round. It was a great, I remember when Kathy Honeycutt at Fox 43 or at WFXB TV approached the station about this a few years ago, talking about the excitement
of this.
And actually,
it was her idea.
Is that right?
Yes.
This was Kathy's idea, and she's a dedicated volunteer.
It was her baby.
Right.
Yes.
And she has birthed this baby and carried it now into the third year. She has, and the 3-year-old. So
the more that I do it, the more I can see how much work she did. Because the first year, you're learning everything from scratch.
Yeah.
So
Kathy's an amazing.
She loves animals,
and she does love animals. She and her son Scott both. That's right. They're very dedicated to. Lots of different animals as well. Probably not as dedicated as Michelle Lopinto and her husband and son, who have 8 dogs, 11 cats, and 1 bird even. Did you bring any of them with you today?
I did not.
That's right, because you've got to go to your dental office this morning.
Yes. I'll be in pain for a while.
Bob Farrar probably wouldn't let you bring in a dog or a cat or even your bird. Does the bird ever leave the house? Or?
Oh, no. It's a finch, and actually he lives in the bathroom because the one bathroom.
You need company in the bathroom.
Well, actually, I do. Him and I do a lot of chatting. We talk about ducks and,
give parental advice or,
Actually, he was a rescue bird. We did a cruelty case where some people had like 50, 60 birds in a mobile home without any air conditioning. It was very heart-wrenching, and he's one of the survivors. I've had him about 6 years now.
Just for folks who I have difficulty understanding that, why would someone have, I mean, is there anything, or are they just insane, folks that have 50 or 60 birds in a house without air conditioner, mobile home?
Well, it was just cheaper to do it that way, and they were going to sell them.
Oh, they were going to sell them. They weren't doing it just for fun.
And breeding them.
Okay.
Right. But, it's really a little bit hard to sell an animal that's half dead from heat exhaustion, But they were convicted, so that was a good thing.
And you got him, and his name is?
Frenchie.
Frenchie, great,
Yeah,
good.
French.
For the Finch. Yeah, good for you. Didn't want to have
Well,
any
you know,
chance
my
of
son's
confusing it.
very
Yeah.
original with
So
all this.
if he mumbled Finch, it would still come out okay to
Well,
him.
if we've got him now, he would be named A-Rod.
Oh.
Yeah, big baseball guy. So I'll deal with Frenchie instead of A-Rod right
That's
now.
great, Michelle. And of course, now, do you ever have any confusion with your 20 animals there? Get any of those names mixed up? 8 dogs.
Oh, no.
11 cats. 1 bird. There's 20 separate names, including you and your husband's and your son's. Do you ever any confusion there?
No. Sometimes I forget my husband's name.
Right, yes.
Okay, that gets confusing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and
That's
of course
right.
he'd like to
Hope he's
forget
watching now,
all
yeah.
the animals.
Oh, that's right.
names.
Is that right? Now, he's an animal lover, though.
He loves me.
Oh.
Let's put it that way.
Man, oh, man.
Hey, we got married. He was on his knees, and he said, as long as I can golf.
Right.
For the rest of my life, whenever I want. And I said, as long as I can have as many animals. Little did he know.
Yeah, that
right?
would mean at least 20. Yeah.
Because you know the old boy ain't golfing as much as he used to.
He's taking care of your 20 animals. That's right. Yeah,
That's right.
That's a big deal. Well, that's a tremendous commitment. Have you had that commitment since early childhood? I mean, was that something your parents instilled?
Actually, no. No, we were in the suburbs in Ohio.
Right.
And it was cold in the winter. We only had 1 dog.
One
at
dog
a time.
total.
Yeah, an inside dog. We didn't have any cats. I didn't even know what a cat was. As a matter of fact, I worked in a hospital. It's not like I started out with animals. I always loved animals,
Right.
you know, and came here and got involved with the Humane Society. And that's really not a lot of animals, Greg. I know everybody
20?
out there is thinking that is, but what am I going on here? 23 years? That's not a whole lot of animals.
I mean, 23 years with the
working
Humane
with the
Society of
Humane
North Myrtle
Society.
Beach. That's great.
Yeah.
Always of North Myrtle Beach?
No, actually, I did both. I was also the director over the Grand Strand Humane Society in Myrtle Beach.
Is that right? Okay.
Too. Yeah, I believe about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Early on, or right? Or was that kind of in the middle?
I think in 1997, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So you were very busy.
Yeah, a little too busy.
lot of
It's hard to.
No wonder you haven't been to Merle's Inland in a while. That's right.
I don't get out a whole lot.
Yeah,
you know?
20 animals. I'm sure that requires a lot of not only just the amazing, and we've got you brought one of your monthly flyers here, I think, that has some shots there. Adopt Me, which has some cats and dogs. No birds
No
on
birds.
here. Principal focus for the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach is cats and dogs.
Yes.
Is that indicative of almost all humane societies?
I think it depends on whether they have an area.
Right.
Birds wouldn't be real safe at our shelter.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Cats,
yeah, and a lot of them aren't in cages. We probably have about 15 lobby cats.
Is that right?
Yes, they've been there too long. We need the cage for other animals,
Right.
so they're allowed to walk around the lobby and greet the people. And a lot of times that's how they get homes, because the person that comes in the shelter can actually rub them and see how they act. And we have lobby dogs too, so it's a good thing for the public to see how they act,
Right.
interact with them, not being in a cage.
Do you encourage folks, the public, to come visit the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's go over the
Absolutely.
times real quick, and just if folks need to have any special, I mean, do you have any animals there they'd be afraid of, or are there any issues there?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Actually, it's very friendly.
Great, good.
We kind of name them like the Walmart greeter.
Wow,
You know, when you
great.
walk in, the cat and dog are standing there saying, "Hey, pick me,
I
take
like
me
it.
home." But our hours, we're
please.
there Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday.
We're closed
okay.
on Sundays and Mondays.
Right.
We are there till 5.
Okay, so you'd open up at
11, I'm sorry, 11 to 5.
Tuesday through Saturday.
On Thursday and Friday, it's 11 to 6.
11 to 6 on Thursday and Friday.
And
okay,
then
so
Saturday-
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
At Saturdays, 11 to 4.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least folks know if they're there by 11 on one of those 5 days,
Absolutely.
they'll be able to get in if they want to come in even later this morning here on Wednesday if they wanted to come in later.
Yes, and on Wednesdays, I'm glad you brought that up, Greg. Wednesdays are reduced days. This goes on all year round. Instead of the regular adoption fee of $70, we charge $55.
Great.
And that's for anything. That covers their shots, the wormings, and the spay or neuter, which is very important. Everything's spayed or neutered before it leaves.
Okay, say that again. If someone wanted to come in today, later today, sometime between 11 and 5, sometime today between 11 and 5, they'd save $15, so it's surely worth the trip today. But what all is included in that adoption?
The shots, the distemper shot and the rabies shot, the animal's worming, and the spay or neuter. All right? Depending on if it's a male or a female. If it's a cat, the feline leukemia test, and if it's a dog, the heartworm test. That's a very good deal. You check with any of the veterinarians, and they're going to tell you the same. That's saving them a lot of money by coming to a humane society and getting an animal. That's tremendous.
And now, for folks who aren't familiar with a humane society, what does that mean exactly? These are dogs and cats that just had not been taken care of, or lost a home, or had been in a home, and the owners just couldn't, or so the owner passed away. How does a humane society normally get
all of the above?
Yeah. Okay.
Really, I think you touched on quite a bit of it. Some people have allergies, as yourself.
Right. Yes, to cats. That's right.
And they may not have the allergies until they get an animal, say a cat. It's usually a cat.
Right.
Sometimes people pass away. There's no family member to take them. They move here, and they're not allowed to have animals. Their lease states that, and they try to sneak them in.
Right.
They have a new baby. They're more in tune to the baby. The dog or puppy gets jealous. There's all kinds of different reasons, but I think, to sum it up, all shelters and all humane societies are there for these animals because they have nowhere else to go. It's like children that have no parents. They have to live somewhere,
right?
You know, and that's what shelters are for. And I guess that's why we'll always be around. I hate to say it.
The humane societies, y'all are supported by the government at all, or entirely by donations?
Donations, by these fundraisers that we do, and we get some money allotted to us from the city of North Myrtle Beach.
City of North Myrtle Beach.
Right, because it's their shelter. We don't own it, it's their land. We basically just operate it and take care of all the animals. And I'm sorry, I should touch on that too. Animal control from the city, when they pick up animals, those animals come to us.
Y'all are located where, Michelle? For a viewer who would be coming in, let's say, from Conway or in from Myrtle Beach, are you easy to find?
No, we're not.
Okay, good, yeah.
But and I'm going to be real honest.
4948 number, 249-4948, if they want to call and to get better directions, or just right now, just a ballpark.
All right, usually everybody now knows where the Aquatic and Fitness Center is, okay? They are right in front of us.
Okay, great.
Since they built that, more
close
people.
To the water.
Yes, we're down by the water.
I think I've seen you cruising up, or someone has pointed out that y'all are over there cruising up the waterway at one time, right?
Yeah, and eventually we're allotted to we're going to go across the waterway, and we're trying to raise funds also for this new building. They're going to, I believe, put the library in where we sit. So that's not far off as soon as that Main Street connector goes in. So we're going to need a new shelter.
For folks who didn't grow up with pets oftentimes, and I think I shared that with you a few years ago, and around that same time, an ex-girlfriend of mine hates me to mention that her dog had bit me, but that was a big issue for me, or a Great Dane.
It's traumatic.
Which is a difficult thing. And in addition, oftentimes not growing up with pets, my daughter talks about a dog all the time now, and wanting to get a dog for her 5th birthday, which unfortunately falls on the same day of y'all's big event. But of course, you know, the dogs and cats are a big deal for folks. Are there special aspects that viewers would need to have to take on? What are some of the big responsibility pieces of owning either, let's say a dog?
All right, let's take your case.
Right.
for instance. Okay, your daughter's 5.
Right.
And I went through the same thing with mine when he was 5. Even though we had animals, he wanted a puppy. Okay, he wanted something of his own. You have to realize, as the parent, you're going to be responsible.
Okay.
Okay? And if you work a lot, like I do and you do, it's hard to keep up. You got to do the housebreaking. They go through the chewing stage. You got to put them on a leash and walk them. Cats are much easier. But as you said, you're allergic. So everybody has different, they need to sit down and think about this. It bothers me when people come in with their 1- and 2-year-olds to get that child, a puppy or a kitten. Okay? It just doesn't work that way. Animals live a long time now. Animals can live to be 25 years old.
Is that right? 25 of our years. When we hear about dog years, it's, I mean, we're really, you're thinking
25,
of our years.
yeah, that child will be in college.
Right. Or
and
out.
you're going to still be taking care of that animal.
Yeah.
And if you do it properly, it can add up to some money. And time, you know, the years go on. So it's a big responsibility. And if you work a lot and you don't have time, don't get an animal. Come to the shelters, and I say shelters because we are all overcrowded right now.
Right.
Just come down and walk the dogs, or bring a donation of food or cat litter.
Yeah.
Do something like that. Just don't get a puppy that's going to grow into a 60-pound dog that you don't have room for in your condo.
Sure. One issue I'm sure a lot of folks face is they're raising a child, and oftentimes, unfortunately, parents will split.
Exactly.
And then pets
suffer.
Pets are in a difficult position there. Are they malleable enough, or dogs malleable enough for cats to go from home to home, or do they really need to stay in one home?
You prefer that they stay in one home, but it's amazing when we get these in, some of the stories that I hear, it might be their 4th or 5th home because the original 2 people split up. Went with one, and then it went with another, and then it went down the street. This is not good for any animal's mental thing, because they just get used to being somewhere and then they're uprooted.
Right.
Again, we're back to, it's a lifetime commitment for that animal. Try and get something that you think is good for your environment and yourself.
Right.
You know, again, I have a lot of older people that want a kitten or a puppy. You know, people in their 80s. And
looking for companionship.
Exactly, which is fantastic.
Right.
But I try to steer them away from that kitten or a puppy and maybe get a 4 or a 5-year-old cat. You know, something that's not going to scratch up their tender skin or they're going to trip over. We try to, you know, I've got a great staff, and we try to counsel people. It's not you walk in the door and we start throwing animals at you. No, you need to think about it and look around.
There's so many more questions I want to ask Michelle.
Every time we go through
we're
this,
close to running out of time. But do you ever have volunteer needs? Any
Absolutely.
Viewers who would want to try to find your tough-to-find location, but if they called, again, 249-4948, or went online to humanesocietynmb.org, are there volunteer opportunities?
Absolutely. They'll probably speak to a volunteer that answers the phone because the staff is just so busy with the animals. Absolutely, they can come in and they can answer phones. They can help us with fundraisers at these different locations that we go to. They can bathe puppies. They can walk dogs. People that want to lose weight. All you have to do is go to a shelter and walk 1 or 2 dogs on your lunch hour, and you're going to start losing weight.
I like it.
It helps the dogs, and it helps the people. So, yes, volunteers are very important.
Do you work in tandem, since you said you obviously get tremendous support from the city of North Myrtle Beach, a lot of volunteer donations, folks coming out on Saturday, September 8th, to be there for this Paws Across the Ducks Across the, say it again, Paws.
You got it.
Is it
Paws Across the Water.
That's right, Paws Across the Water, events like that. But do you work in tandem with the Grand Strand Humane Society ever? Or now is there an Horry County Humane Society also?
There is, yes. There's 3 humane societies now, you know, right in one small area. We, you know, everybody does their own fundraising, but we all keep in touch as to when people are losing it, have lost something, we'll call and say, do you have this? Because this is a big area and people don't know where to take animals when they lose them. Yes, there's a lot of communication as far as the lost and found, and maybe certain people that shouldn't adopt. If they come down and there's a problem with that, they'll usually pass it on, and we will do the same.
Those are good
Not
words.
everybody needs to have an animal.
Right. Those are good words, Michelle. I hate for you to end on those words, but thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Greg.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Michelle Lopinto of the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach coming up next. I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. Mission objectives of the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. There are 9 of them. The first one has just 7 key words: to help all animals, great and small. To help all animals, great and small. Those 7 tie-in, 7 good words. There's 7 letters up here. Can you read them? 7 letters in adopt me. Adopt me. They're great letters. There's also 8 letters at the bottom. Wish list. There's a lot of big wishes, a lot of wishes that they'll sell 10,000 of these ducks on September 8th or leading up to September 8th out there at the waterway. Barefoot Landing's the location. The registration and all the festivities kick off at noon. The big drop into the water, the paws across the water, they drop in right there at 2 o'clock. Be out there Saturday, September 8th, 2007, Barefoot Landing. You can also call 249-49-4948, 249-4948, or go online to Humane Society of NMB, humanesocietynmb.org. Think of that, 210 kittens and cats, 90 puppies and dogs. They need you. Adopt me, wish list. Think of that. They also need volunteers. Go online or give them a call, 249-4948.